Lovely.
Anyway, so this is, I guess we'll just introduce it. This is the very first episode of the most embarrassing thing in the world. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. So I'm Devin.
I'm Tammy.
And we're the hosts. We're going to take you through embarrassing stuff that's happened. And so the goal of the podcast is just talk about the embarrassing stories that have happened to us, all the embarrassing things that we've encountered in our life, and just kind of break it down a little bit. Yeah, there's always a lot. And the good thing about me is I'm always adding to it. You know.
No, me too. Me too, for sure, unfortunately. But, it's always fun.
Exactly. And so each week we'll kind of dive into an embarrassing story. I'll share all of my embarrassing stories. You guys are going to learn a lot about me here at the most embarrassing thing in the world, maybe too much. And we'll kind of like break it down, right? We'll kind of like talk about it, deconstruct it a little bit. And maybe understand why it...
Pick it apart.
Yeah, pick it apart and kind of understand like why we felt that embarrassment and why maybe it's not... Maybe we don't need to feel embarrassment about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like reclaim it in some ways.
Yeah, I like that.
And or not, or just be embarrassed by it.
Like either or.
I feel like owning it and like actually like talking about it though does make it like a little bit less embarrassing. You kind of like reason with it. It's this thing that's been like hiding in your closet all these years, and you're gonna take it out, show it to the light of day, and maybe in the light of day it's not as embarrassing.
Do you ever have moments in your day where you're just like going about your day and then all of a sudden like a really embarrassing moment like hits you and you just like cringe and you like can't let it go? It's kind of like maybe we have those moments, we bring them up, and then we get to reframe them so that they don't come back,
I like that. Yeah, reframe them, because that happens. It's funny you say that, because that happens to me the other day. Like when and I think it's kind of how the show like came about in my mind, was like just like a moment where something happens where it kind of reminds you of something, or even if it's just like out of the blue and it hits you and it's just like your face cringes. And I think like reframing it is a way, in that way, is it kind of like creates this new sense of ownership over it in maybe some ways. So
I tend to not do that right now. I tend to just like try to go to the next memory, but I think that's a good idea.
Like move on as fast as possible. Don't think about it.
Exactly.
Get rid of it. Okay, it's gone.
If I'm listening to music, I genuinely will skip to another song because I'm like, oh, I'm associating this memory with this song right now.
And that's funny because like music and memory are so interlinked. Like songs remind me so much of like past things. So if it's something that like brings up an embarrassing thing, you're like, get it away, make it stop.
No, genuinely.
Also, the thing that I've noticed also that like is really linked to memory is like the sense of smell. Like the sense of smell for me is not even necessarily with embarrassment, but just in like life in general, is just like I'll smell something and it'll like take me back to like I smelled this. Someone was wearing this perfume the other day and it reminded me of like my very first girlfriend's perfume, and I was just like,
oh wow,
nostalgia. And I just went back through this whole like train of like memories and this whole like cornucopia of experiences, some of which embarrassing, some of which sad, some of which happy. It was just like, I mean, that's life to me. It's like life is all those things.
No, yeah, for sure. I've definitely had moments with smells as well. They tend to be good, yeah. I don't think they've ever truly been embarrassing unless it has to do with, bowel movement.
That's fart smell. But like fart smells tend to just like fart and poop smell, they just tend to you smell it so much that it's like, it's like that there's there's nothing, it's like such a common smell, I feel like.
For sure.
Like, it's just like, there's like too many associations with it for it to be like an embarrassing one. Because there's just like a million.
No, exactly. Way too many.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the very first episode. Since this is the very first episode, I thought we should like kind of like talk a little bit about like the different types of embarrassment that we're going to kind of be going over, because people may not have thought about this. I have thought about this, obviously, but there are different types of embarrassment. It's not just embarrassment. Embarrassment's the catch-all, but like within that, there's different categories. There's different subgenres.
Yes,
and
like an umbrella term.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think the obvious one that comes to mind, the very first one, is just like something that happens that's embarrassing where you're like right away in the moment, like that was embarrassing. Like that was not good.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely have those moments. And I think that those are like the most immediate, like, okay, I'm gonna block this out of my brain because I don't want to. But then you said that lady even acknowledged it, and like I feel like that makes it even easier if someone actually acknowledges it versus you just being like, this is happening and I hate it right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so, yeah, no, I think that's that is true. It is kind of like, it's kind of like, it's like a yeah, it's like a very, like the immediacy of it kind of creates almost the most like visceral sense right there, almost like imprints in the brain in such a important way, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's one type, and that's always embarrassing. There's no like
For sure.
like that, like that's
Everyone experiences that.
yeah, that's a bit like everyone is like gonna know what we're talking about and can probably think of like 10 things off the top of their head like right away. Maybe some people may, or maybe not. Maybe some people just don't embarrass themselves that much and are just a lot cooler than us. But
so you think people like trip? Like tripping is like an easy one, right?
Yeah.
You think people trip and like don't feel embarrassed? I feel like it's just impossible not to.
Well, yeah, I get because it makes you feel clumsy and it makes you feel like you're not paying attention.
Even
or
when you're
feel,
by yourself, even if you're not out in public, I'm only like, why did I do that?
But like, I guess sometimes if I trip, it's yeah. I guess I always do. The first reaction is like kind of look around and be like, okay, wait a minute.
Hypervigilant,
yeah. You're kind of like, did anyone see that? And then you're kind of so I guess it's like a small thing, but it is like and it's like just a natural. Is it like a human reaction? You think to like just like look around and like where do you think that comes from?
Probably like behavioral. Like you have to learn that. I mean, yeah, I'm assuming like when you're little, you do. I feel like a lot of kids aren't as embarrassed when they're younger, and it's just true. Like because they're very blunt too. So it's just like something that you grow into.
Yeah, it's almost like our society. Like as we grow, we first of all encounter all these different situations that already like society is already weird enough as it is. You know what I mean? And so we come to encounter all these like weird situations. So like the room for embarrassment grows, but then also like our society in itself, like kids trip all the time, you know what I mean? Like they're tripping like every single thing. They're falling, they're like whatever, you know, this is great. And so it's like for some reason, like as we grow old, as we grow up, like we tend to like kind of like maybe someone like we tripped one day and someone laughed at us, so we kind of like learn, like you said, it's behavioral. We learn like, oh shit, like that's not something I want to do. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, it's also like. I mean, I feel like it's something that you kind of feel and then you're like, maybe I shouldn't be feeling this. And that you don't want to feel it because everyone's always laughing about feeling embarrassed, like in a bad way. So I don't know. It's like kind of complex in that way.
Yeah, that's true. It is. There's a lot of complexity in embarrassment itself because you kind of like learn from other people and you learn from how people react, and it's the whole social experiment. And I think like society itself like lends itself to embarrassment because like there's all these mixed messages you have like growing up, like you're told to be, you know, to be respectful in certain situations but be wild in other situations, and you know like it like learning like the way to interact with society just lends itself to embarrassment because this is a weird society that we exist in itself, you know. Like think about like all the messaging around like sexuality towards like young people, you know, like you're told to be sexual but not too sexual, and we'll shame you if you are sexual, but you're also supposed to be, you know, and it's like there's so many messages there, and it's like how could you not embarrass yourself, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like the epitome of that, maybe it's like middle school and high school, like everything embarrasses you. I don't know, everything embarrassed me in high school too, and especially when I was around my parents. I was like, anything they would do, I'd be like,
that's a whole other thing. That's like your parents like embarrassing you is like
but they're just being themselves.
And like nobody else feels that except for you. You know what I mean? Like nobody else like notices that. Like oh man, that actually reminds me of something. I'm just gonna get into this real quick. A little side story. This isn't even, we're not even, but like I remember speaking, because I didn't even like that. Just like clicked a whole new set of memories for me. What you just said right there, parents' embarrassment. Wow, that's a whole like deep dive in there. That's a whole episode coming up. But I remember one time my friend. It was like I was probably in middle school. It was probably like 7th, 8th grade, and my mom was driving us home, and my friend was like riding his bike home, and like he's riding his bike. And he was like a cool guy already. I think he was already reading like the autobiography of Malcolm X like in middle school. So you already knew like this fool's like fucking legit like smart. You know what I mean? Like this fool's proper smart. His name was Antonio, and he had like several names. And he was like proud of his names. He was proud of his heritage. He was super right. And he was like. He's probably like a freaking doctor or something I hope he's an important person right now.
Yeah.
Because he was like one of the smartest people. And so he was riding his bike home, and like we're in the same grade, and my mom's giving me a ride home. So already there's a layer of embarrassment there. And so on top of that, my mom then rolls down the window and she's like, "Oh, doing good riding your bike," or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't remember what she exactly said. But she just said something like compliment to him, and I was like, to me that was like the most embarrassing thing that anyone's ever said in their life. Like
this is being encouraging. You're like, fuck, I don't look cool anymore.
Because it's like here's this badass riding his bike home and shit, and I'm over here. Oh, my mom's giving me a ride home to my car, you know. And it's really because he lived closer, and like we lived like on the other side of town, so it wasn't practical for me to ride my bike home. Like it's like there's many reasons why this is happening, but at the same time it's like here's this fucking badass kid riding his bike home, and I'm like, I'm in the backseat of my mom's car.
Your mom's here.
And then my mom's like, great job, you know. And that's exactly how my mom is too. She's the most like supportive person ever. And so I was like, no, don't say that. And I think I said like, Mom, don't say that. And like I think I literally said like, Mom, you're embarrassing me or something, or like he thinks you're weird or something like that. And she legit like was like sad by that. And then I had to like apologize. I had to go later and be like, I was just kidding, Mom.
Yeah, it's just teenagers.
But I like was like actually like embarrassed because it's like don't say anything right there. But at the same time, it's like, you know, like he's just like, you know, he probably didn't think anything of it. He was like,
yeah, exactly.
You know? And he didn't think anything differently of me either. He probably didn't even know it was my mom.
I was gonna say he probably didn't even see you in the car.
All these years I've been so embarrassed about it. I had no reason to.
That's funny.
But stuff like that is what we'll be talking about basically. And
so that's an immediate embarrassment.
That's an immediate embarrassment, and that's also like a parent embarrassing you kind of situation.
Yes.
But then so that's like one category of embarrassment. But I think another category of embarrassment that we're going to be talking about, we're going to be analyzing a lot, is just something that's embarrassing that you don't realize is embarrassing. Something that you look back on and you're like, ooh, that was really embarrassing.
And what even constitutes as like looking back on? Do you think like even in that same day, or is it just more so like sometime in the future you're just like, wait, that probably was perceived the wrong way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that there are several times where I'm like doing something and then I go home. I'm really bad at staying present, and I think I'm always revisiting what I've done throughout the day, and so that's when like I'm retracing my steps. I'm like, wait, that was kind of embarrassing. That's bad, but then it's worse when you are telling someone a story and then you realize, wait, that was actually really embarrassing and it wasn't funny.
And then you don't realize it till then, and it's hitting you as you're telling the story.
It's like clicking afterwards.
You're like, shit, that's embarrassing. That's not good. That's 100% embarrassing, and it's almost like more embarrassing in some ways because like since you don't realize it, maybe you're like leaning more into it. You're like kind of free. You're thinking like, I'm a badass here. I'm doing something cool. Maybe even you're like thinking this is actually cool, and then you're like, it hits you later like, oh no, very bad, very embarrassing.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is embarrassing. I mean, that's a whole category. I think like for stuff like that, it's like that in itself to me. I think some of my worst embarrassments have been stuff I didn't realize and then like looked back on and was like, oh man, that was bad. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, or even like rereading texts that you sent. That one's rough too.
Because those never leave. Those are always there.
Yep, they are.
And in your mind, like your memory is not perfect. You know what I mean? Your memory tells its own story sometimes. You know, so maybe you're not getting. But a text is like that's in writing. You can't.
I sent that, and that's.
I sent that. That's exactly what I said.
Yes.
Like, oh shit. Yeah. So that's another one. The whole parent embarrassing thing though is I've got like that opened a whole Pandora's box to me.
Yeah.
Like embarrassing because now I'm thinking about all these times like my mom. I love my mom. I love you, mom. You're the best. She's literally the best mom in the world. And what makes her the best mom in the world also like lends herself to embarrassment. Because she is like so leaning into being a great mom, and I, you know, like seriously, like love her to death, you know, and an amazing person.
Yeah.
And but since we're on the topic, I'm going to tell one more embarrassing my mom story. I just can't. I feel like I can't since we're like doing these short little hits about embarrassing stories. Yeah. So we're so and it's easier telling a story, an embarrassing story about someone else than it is telling an embarrassing story about yourself.
It really is.
Because like some of these embarrassing stories that I'm going to be telling in the coming weeks, I'm like, damn, how am I actually going to say that out loud? Like, like I'm like saying it out loud to myself in the mirror just to know I can actually say those words and not be like, my body just doesn't like shut down and have a stroke or some shit. And then I died. He died doing what he loved, telling embarrassing stories.
That's
you know,
true.
Like,
that's the way to go.
you go out, you know. So anyway, so my family and I, we had gone to it was like New Year's Eve, and it was in LA. So someone had told us that particular year, like, oh, they're lighting up the Hollywood sign for this New Year's, which they didn't do. They did not light up the Hollywood sign that year. But we drove up to this place where you could see the Hollywood sign, and we went to look for it, and they didn't light up the Hollywood sign. And so we're sitting there, we're all kind of disappointed anyway. We're just like, what the fuck are we? Yeah, like someone just, I don't know who fucking gaslit us like that. It was my cousin who gaslit us. I don't remember exactly who did it. I think she heard it. She was like new to LA, so for some reason we like listened to her. We were like, she knows what she's talking about, even though they never light up the Hollywood sign ever. Maybe this one year they'll do it. They didn't. And so we're driving back. We're all kind of disappointed, and we pull up to a red light. Okay. So we pull up to a red light, and like we're next to this car, and it's New Year's Eve, so they're partying, and it's just these cool black ladies, these cool black girls having like a good New Year's. They're celebrating, they're partying. And my mom's windows rolled down, and she like turns to them, and she's like, "Yeah, you go, girl."
In the same vein as the biking story.
A lot of like my mom saying stuff out the window to people. This is what this episode is heavy in. This is what this episode will be called. It'll be called Intro. My mom says stuff out the window to people, and it's embarrassing. So she says it, and I know, like, maybe this is just in my mind. Like, maybe this is how I remember it. Yeah. But I almost remember like a record just like scratch stop, like, and like their windows went up, and they just like leaned forward. They're like 2 years. They were just like. Oh, white woman.
I bet if you ask your mom, that's not how she remembers it.
No, I don't know, because like everybody in like my car, like we were all there, and we were all just like, oh my god. So I think we all kind of like, it's like a collective hallucination almost. Okay. We all remember it happening that way, even though they were probably like, yeah, hey, cool. They probably like said like cool, and like, but like in my mind's eye, like the way I remember it, they were just like, roll the window up, let's go home, this is over. That's how
party's over.
That's how party is over, and this year is terrible. So
I guess that could also be considered like secondhand embarrassment, right? Which is the other form.
Exactly, and that's true, and that's a great segue into another form of embarrassment, which is secondhand embarrassment, which is embarrassment that you feel because of someone else. Like you look at someone else and you're like, damn, what they're doing right now is embarrassing. It's like whenever I hear like Mike Johnson talk, you know, whenever I hear Paul Young talk, actually, you know what I mean? Whenever I hear freaking Donald Trump talk, whenever I hear most politicians talk,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's so embarrassing, man. Like you're so like when Paul Young was like there's only 16 gas turbines operational at XAI right now, and then like it turned out there was 35 or whatever.
Or after the DOJ report, and he was like, yeah, pretty sure it's all good, but I haven't read it yet.
I'm like, God, I feel so embarrassed. That's our mayor. Yes, very embarrassed for you, but you know, so that level, that I feel like that one is kind of like, it's not, you don't like you say, it's like maybe I said, or someone said, it's like easier to feel that embarrassment because you feel the embarrassment, but you're like, I don't actually give a fuck about that person. So,
exactly.
I mean, I didn't, and for my mom, like, maybe that's why I react. Like I felt embarrassed. It was like it was secondhand embarrassment, but it like intense. Absorbed into me. With my friend biking, for example, it's like it's embarrassed because he knew me, so he like I'm just building all these imaginary associations as a kid there at the time, you know, and making my mom feel bad. And I apologize again for that, Mom. I'm sorry. It was not nice to say.
Yes.
And he didn't think you were weird, and he didn't even probably know it was you, and I think you're cool for saying that now.
No,
and
I agree.
Like,
yeah,
if I could have been in the car as like modern present 2025 Devin, I would have been like, hey, fuck up, you stupid little kid. The fuck are you talking about? That's your mom.
I feel like you should make an effort to, when you're driving and you see someone on a bike, now do that
in front of my mom,
just by yourself.
just like, hey. Good job.
You're doing great.
Nice job with the biking, pedaling the wheels, not falling off, not getting hit by a car. It's dangerous out there. Good job, man.
I do remember one of my friends would bike to work, and it was in Knoxville, so it was hilly, and she said that she was going uphill, and she really wanted to get off her bike, and someone was like, way to go, and she was like, I have to keep going.
That's so funny because I have been not in Knoxville, but in a hilly biking situation where you're like barely going and you want to get off your bike so bad, and then someone drives by and they're like, fuck yeah. And you're like, you feel like I think I still got off my bike that time because it was way too steep of a hill, but I stayed on my bike for a little bit longer than I would have had that person not been like...
Until they're like out of Ivy.
Yeah, because I didn't want to let them down. I didn't want them to be like, oh wow, that fool just got off his fucking bike right after I said that. Why'd I even do that? Jeez. And then they feel embarrassed, you know, and then it discourages them from telling people nice things, giving people random compliments sometimes. And
this is all just you internalizing this because they might not be feeling
They didn't even look back, like I guarantee you. They were just like, good job, man, whatever.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, so but I haven't been in that exact same situation to be funny enough, and it does motivate you a little bit. So yeah, but I don't know. This episode went on for like longer than I thought it was going to actually.
Yeah, we did kind of ramble a little bit.
But that's the point of the show is to ramble. Yeah. Like that. I feel like this show needs rambling built into it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're gonna ramble. We're gonna
have embarrassing moments here. Probably.
Yeah, we're gonna like make embarrassing moments like in real time, most likely. Like we'll probably look back on this one day and be like, that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
this whole episode of making this podcast was like, I was thinking about this too, like if it doesn't like quite ever become popular, you know what I mean? If like it never gets there, and then there's just out there with like all our embarrassing stories for like people that do know us though to like go back and watch, I'll probably take it down if it doesn't. So make it popular, please watch this so we can quit, one, so that doesn't have to happen, and two, so we can quit our jobs because we hate our jobs.
Yes. Yeah.
And our jobs make us not embarrassed, but sad. And when we're sad, we can't have these fun, embarrassing conversations. Exactly. I mean, I guess we are still having it, but you know.
But you know, it's on our off days. So.
Yeah, I feel a lot less sad on Tuesday than I am tomorrow on Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Thinking about work days.
Oh yeah, and also I do feel like we didn't mention in the beginning, which I feel really bad about, but because I told the owner of this place that I was gonna mention it and that we didn't.
This is Java Cabana.
They were at the world famous Java Cabana Coffee House in Cooper Young. We framed it right there. No big deal, whatever. And so if you're in Memphis. go to the best coffee place. I mean, one of the best coffee places. I can't say which one because I love all of them.
Yeah, me too.
But definitely go. It's definitely top tier coffee place. So
No, for sure.
please come here.
Has a special place in my heart.
Special place in my heart too. Done some fun stories here, and also just like spent a lot of time just working and stuff, and
Yeah,
just chatting.
same.
The baristas out there. Allie is one of the coolest people in the entire world. Shannon's okay. No, I'm just kidding.
Shout out Shannon.
Shout out Shannon, and shout out 901 Comics, and shout out
901 Toys.
901 Toys. They're all within this umbrella group of cool stuff that's happening here in Cooper Young. Memphis, Tennessee has cool stuff happening.
Yep,
Even
all the
though
time.
everyone thinks it's just like people killing each other.
I mean, that is what we see mostly since we work in the news, but it's not. It's more than that. For
It's
sure.
way more than that. It's way more than that. And honestly, like I will say, like our job like isn't as bad as some of the, we're not going to say too much about who our station is, but like it's not as bad as like some stations out there that are just like covering every single crime that happens.
I am grateful for that for sure.
Like it could be worse.
Yeah,
Not much worse, but
it could be worse.
a little bit worse. But anyway, so that's why you gotta watch this freaking thing so we can become the Joe Rogan of the embarrassment or
Yeah.
some shit. I don't know.
Exactly.
But I don't know. What do you think? You got anything else, Tammy?
No, I think that you pretty much summed it all up.
Magic.
Amazing.
I'm just gonna leave it like this for like a while, so it's just like awkward pause, and then we'll just end it. That'll be it.
Cool.